Hello everyone and welcome to this exciting episode of Beyond RIS. Today we will dive into the most exciting technological and innovative developments of our school. As part of the STEAM Week, we're celebrating the grand opening of the RIS Space Lab, an innovative learning environment designed to inspire creativity, critical thinking and problem solving across multiple disciplines.
To mark this occasion, we're honored to have a special guest with us today, Elpidoforos Anastasiou, the director of the Space Center at a global education school in Cyprus. And Mr. Anastasiou is working on incredible projects that integrate AI, robotics, and hands-on learning to prepare students for our future. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and the podcast looks really exciting.
Thank you. So we'll start by talking about STEAM education. So over the past decade, we've seen a huge shift in how we approach science, technology, arts, mathematics, engineering. First of all, what is STEAM? Because not many of us know what is STEAM and what's the main focus. And how do you see the role of STEAM evolving the next few years and the education?
Okay, it's a very interesting question. I'm going to take you back in history because we are in Rome, in Italy, and one of my mentors is Leonardo da Vinci. I don't know if I pronounce it well. It's amazing because he said something that actually I remember until today. He said, you need to understand, you can understand art in a mathematical way and math in an artistic way. And when it comes to STEAM education, it's exactly this. It's interdisciplinarity. It's understanding how physics can be also art and art can be in physics. And if you combine all these disciplines and put them in a project, you have a very nice, let's say, STEAM education program. The problem now with a lot of schools and a lot of organizations, they use STEAM as a marketing tool. Let's buy some equipment, let's use some robots or 3D printers on a single discipline. We're doing STEAM education. But it's not like this. So there is a lot of shift now from people that try to understand STEAM education. There's a lot of mistakes and it's a lot of misinterpretation. So the mission I've been trying to achieve for the last 6 years is just, let's say, demystify and show what STEAM education is. And it's very interesting because if you're an engineer, then you like to solve problems. This is what engineers do. But as you grow up, you have all these lessons you have during your normal teaching day. And if you find a way to combine that knowledge into a practical solution, this is what's going to help you in the future when you go to work in a company or to create your own company. The second part of the question, it was...
Yeah, so how do you think STEAM education is going to change our learning in the future?
Okay. You know, you have so many technologies that are emerging, like they are going very fast. AI, quantum computing is coming in a few years. And education, you know, is not only education, but a lot of industries are going to find it difficult to follow this. So STEAM education shaping your future in long term, I think is very critical because, again, it's all these technologies that you're going to use at some point when you grow up. And if you don't explore how to use it effectively to improve the way of thinking and the way you act in problem solving, you're going to have a big problem. So this is the right moment and the right time now. And I'm happy because we created, with the help of your school, the Space Lab here. And you have a very clear direction where to go. You have great stuff and the excitement of you guys, you know, the students, the heart of the school. So this is going to actually go like a rocket, like one of Elon Musk's rockets that goes so fast. Yeah.
So, yeah, you mentioned that we have a real-life example, our new Space Lab.
Yeah.
So, how do you think, like, maybe what activities will help us to, like, improve our critical thinking skills, our deeper knowledge, let's say?
Yeah. The first part, I mean, was the most important. It was, you know, to have the Space Lab and you have the equipment now. But as you said, it's not just the use of the equipment. A lot of schools think, okay, if we fuse it into the curriculum, and then we have it to engage students in a very simple way, and then we're doing the right thing. But in my opinion, it should be like a project that starts from primary all the way to secondary. And we provided a project like this year. It's called AI Sustainable Cities, and it starts from primary all the way to secondary. And this specific project is one that I really love because each year group has the different equipment and a different problem to solve. So as students are gonna go from class to class down to the final year, they're gonna understand the technology and also how to use it to solve problems. So to the final question, you can create your own projects. I mean, you already have something to start with, is the sustainable cities. But if you come up with an idea, you can use AI to write down the proposal, or you can ask an AI agent to help you how to achieve it. So, I mean, simple things like an idea that you're gonna have, like an idea I had 6 years ago, it can grow up to be something huge. So that's the mindset you wanna have, using technology, solving problems, doing projects that you will like and that you will enjoy doing. There's no reason of investing your time on doing something that you don't really enjoy. So if you have this in mind, everything you output is going to be brilliant.
Thank you. That's very inspiring for us as students.
Thanks.
And we also participated in the project of sustainable cities because the
okay.
map upstairs of Rome, we built it as a geography class.
This is amazing, by the way. It was the first thing I saw when I came to school, and I'm like, that's really nice. And if you realize, it's communicating the whole project is very important. So imagine you do something amazing, like the podcast we do today, and you don't communicate. You need to let people know what amazing job you do. So thanks for the amazing job there.
Thank you. So we think that one of the most exciting aspects of this new Space Lab is that it focuses a lot on AI. And in general, we hear a lot about AI changing the world. So how do you see AI transforming education specifically?
I'm not an expert in AI, but I'm going to speak from my experience. The most important thing, I always had difficulty when I was a student in your age to communicate my ideas and actually to explain my ideas. I'm a very creative person, but I always had challenge. How do I get my ideas? How to level the ideas with less complexity so other people can understand. So speaking from my experience, I think AI, when it comes to education, is going to improve the communication part. So how do you get a person that has a level of knowledge, 1,000, and get these ideas down to help other students and teachers to understand these in a more less complex way. So I don't know, about idea creation also. You can speak to an AI about what the ideas you have, and it can draw down 200 possibilities. And then it's your critical thinking and it's your beautiful mind how you perceive all this to have an idea somewhere. So for me, it's all about helping us, but it's also we need to use it ethically and responsibly. And it's like every new technology that came, with the difference that AI is moving very fast, super fast. So companies, people, governments, the whole globe is having difficulty to understand it because it's evolving very, very, very fast. The solution I found, it's use it every day, test it every day, and always have in mind how it works, the DNA. And it's something that you will all have to do at the point. But again, you need to be thinking responsibly at the time. It's very important.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because usually when the AI this concept of AI just appeared, let's say last year, I think it was, all the teachers were pretty negative about it. So with the AI detectors, always these questions like, did you use AI for this? Did you gather ideas from AI? But at the end, judging from my perspective, I use AI a lot to like help me to even not to take information, like not about plagiarism and not
Yes,
taking
yes, I
actual
understand.
ideas, but as you said, to think about the ideas that the AI gives me and in fact improve my critical thinking. So
This is exactly my point, and you said it improve your critical thinking. Because end of the day, we say about the artificial intelligence, but to be honest, I'm using it a lot, and it doesn't come even close to the way and to our creativity as humans. But like you said, it helped me, and I'm sure it helped you, like you said, to enhance this creativity and to enhance communication. But it's true, companies normally use fear. Bad news always travel faster. So OpenAI came out and everybody was like, oh my God, it's going to destroy the world, it's going to change everything. I think it was like a marketing, somehow a tool, but also a warning that we need to take it responsibly and think about it. But I think the best way is to use it and know how it's been, how can it be, how can it use you and how you can use it. It's like a philosophical also way. But it helped me a lot. But yeah, that's my experience.
And we think that this RIS Space Lab encourages a lot collaborative learning. And can you share any success stories or examples where collaboration has led to groundbreaking student projects?
I have a very good example. When we started the first Space Center 5 years ago, I had a student, his name is Richard.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes and he's a student that he's very smart in the school. He had communication, let's say, he wanted to communicate what he was doing, but it was difficult for him. So I remember coming in the lab in the Space Center in Cyprus, and he goes like, we used to do space satellites, these experiments. And I tell him, what do you love to do? He goes, I like to do artificial intelligence. That was 5 years ago. So we got Richard. We have this thing called engineering club, and students they register and they pay some amount of money to buy them equipment. So we bought Richard the equipment to do AI, like face recognition. And he actually created a group of 5 students. And then the funny part is when OpenAI came out, we were able to harness, let's say, this technology in our school. So we were prepared before OpenAI came out. And we were able to build the first chatbot. It was called AI Einstein Junior. From all the schools around the globe, thousands of schools, we were the only school that understood AI in a month, used it, and we brought it in the school with the face of an Einstein figure. So imagine everybody, the whole country was scared about AI. We were using it with the help of Richard and his team, students like 16-year-olds. We used it, we tested, it was a success. And then that kid now has a company of his own. He paid for his school fees last year and this year. He bought a car, and he even bought an office for his company. He's only 18 years old. And it makes you think that, how? And it always comes down to the point I was telling him at the beginning. When a big change comes, never be scared. Just block everything that comes out. Investigate by yourself. Put your critical thinking, and then try to solve a problem. And he has been using this like the last 4 or 5 years since we started. And I mean, I don't know, I think he's going to be famous one day, him and his other teams, in Larnaca. They will have another student from his team. He's doing an AI scanning app for some environmental project. So they do amazing things. I don't even know how they do it. I just teach them how to teach themselves at that point of time. Mm-hmm. And from there onwards, they actually do it themselves. The difficult part, and that was a very critical thing, was that you should teach them how to be responsible about everything. Because if you have the power to do something amazing, you always have 2 choices.
So the easy road, the ethical part.
Yeah, the unethical easy road that most people choose sometimes. And then why you should take the ethical road to innovate in a responsible way. And I always tell them, life is like it's like a circle. Whatever you input is going to output. So if you're going to take the wrong road, somehow it's going to come back to you in a way. And it's always, how can we help? Not how can we use. And if you see big companies, huge companies, they started from, they wanted to help people. So these companies, because they give value to any product they give out there, this is why they thrive internationally and globally. If you try to do something to use someone, to get to leverage on, to get money or anything, somehow, I don't know how, but somehow, historically, it doesn't really work. So if you want to help, the mission, I always tell them, try to help, try to empathize, try to give to the community, and don't think about, I'm going to make a company to make profit. You want to make a company to help people, and always profit. Somehow, it comes to you. So yeah, that's a very successful story from a group of students in Cyprus.
So would you say that now that we also have this tool, like of course it's brand new and your space lab in Cyprus is a bit more advanced because it's older, you've been doing this for a lot of time, but would you say that our new RIS Space Lab is a tool for also us, like students, to follow the same path as Richard? So maybe if we have an idea, could we follow the same path maybe?
I think the point here is not to imitate, it's to innovate. So even this podcast you do right now, this is very innovative, you know. So maybe it's going to be a podcast for, I don't know, a global audience. I mean, it's the only space, this is the only space lab in Rome. So imagine I'm just giving you ideas now, but imagine if you do like a podcast for innovation in Rome. It can be huge, you know, it can combine all these. And this is the key. If you find your own ideas, it's going to be your own small baby that you're going to grow. So think about having your own ideas with your own abilities and how you like to interact, and you're going to find your way. But you have all the core values. You have the space centers, the location, the youth, the power, the mindset. So you are ready to go.
Yeah, like our podcast is a bit of a hobby. Like we do it just because we like to interview other people.
No, yeah. We need more people like you guys, young students that can communicate this. And communication is the best. I mean, think about all the social media and everything. Everything is about communication right now, like communicating a message. And it's simple. I mean, you can be ambassadors of your generation when it comes to, I don't know, STEAM education, AI, space. It can be huge. I'm just fueling you up right now because you're on the right spot and you have the right, you even have the right equipment and everything. So yeah, think outside the box.
Like what we were thinking about, like me and Elena were trying to go like on the same path where we want to do biomedicine. So we want to, for example, I want to work with vaccines and pharmaceuticals. But
all right.
In this case, I think now after this talk, I understand that maybe AI can also help me with some ideas. Maybe I can...
this is a very nice, this is an emerging thing now with AI because they built the systems. It's like space. European Space Agency has like millions and millions of euros of satellites up to space. They send the satellites and they train away and they actually use them right now. It's the same thing with AI. You have like a global thing that's everywhere. And then how do you use it? Biomedicine is just impressive, you know, if you think about the possibilities, it's just endless. But like I said, you have the equipment and you have the initiative, the support, and you have your community that can provide the support. You have universities and research centers in Rome, a lot. And Italy is huge, you can go even nationally. You just have to find, and this is key, something that nobody has tried, not to follow some other idea. You need to find your idea, and that idea is because it's gonna be unique. It's gonna bring attention, and then you can follow up, and maybe you can combine podcasts with biomedicine and AI and do something that.
Yeah, I think we just need to experiment a lot of things to find our right path.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like the most important is the idea. Like after the idea comes the collaboration and then the tools. Like the tools are also important, but the key is the idea.
The key is the idea because everybody, I mean, it's the most important thing. because every brain is unique, and then you can enhance, like you said, your creativity with AI. But again, the idea is going to be yours. The AI is going to just help you to reach a point. So that's why I like AI so much, because I have so many ideas all the time, and it helps me out how to bring them in reality. And anybody can do that. A lot of people thinking, why do I prompt it to give me a solution? You shouldn't do that. I mean, you can do that. You know, it's critical thinking is beautiful. Solving problems is beautiful. So yeah, you can do amazing ideas and create them and use them everywhere.
Yeah, like also in real life examples, if you take the most basic AI, ChatGPT, like usually I have an idea, I type into ChatGPT, like I have this idea, what would you, could you like give me some solutions or some ideas?
Yeah.
And then I choose, so is this idea good? Is this idea
brainstorm.
reasonable? Yes, and it starts a brainstorm, because usually you have a main idea, but then you need a bit more details. And in this case, I can help, of course.
It's true. Even you have a, I'm using lately a thing called deep search, so you can search the internet by itself. So I used to do this manually. So what I'm using now AI is to save me time. So if it can do the research, let's say, down to the level I want, it was going to take me 7 days, and then I need to rest my brain for 2 days, and then I have to come back, and it's going to take me a month. I can do this, I don't know, in 3 hours. So I have a solid solution or idea, then I just, you know, like, because I used to do this manually, and I've trained a system to follow what I was doing before. I can say, okay, based on what I've given you, break it down to solutions and ideas, and then you can use it in the same path. It can be used for anybody. We also used, I remember we tried to fast forward how I was going to teach my students a long time ago. For example, Richard and his team, they wanted to learn AI, and they say, we're going to go and take books, but then it's going to take us a long time. And then, so I told them, listen, there's a method that you can use to fast forward knowledge. And it was funny because, you know TikTok, yeah?
Yeah.
So I told them, try to see how you can use TikTok as a teacher. And it was strange for them. And they came back a week after, and they understood the algorithm, how it works. So they reverse engineer, instead of TikTok using them to get attention, they use it to teach them. So you know, the way it works is simple, yeah. It's attention, and it gives you the, let's say you have 1,000 creators, yeah, around the globe. It gives you the top results based on value of knowledge. So they got a new number because obviously they haven't got a TikTok, an experimental one. And we did this experiment. We got the app, and we start searching only about AI, 3D printing, and all these. So the whole algorithm was actually flipped, and it was giving them 20 minutes a day of the top creators globally on the top values. So instead of reading, let's say, a whole project for one day, they were able to see the results in 3 minutes. Multiply this by 4 times a day. So 1 hour a day of them watching this channel we had, they were able to understand machine learning, coding in Python. So they learn everything. Instead of 6 months, they learn it in 1 month. And it was a success because, and this is what they learn, you know, it doesn't mean that you have something that people use badly, you can be a victim also. You can use technology, but you need to understand how it works before, you know, I don't know if it makes sense. It's just, it's the same with AI, you know, everybody goes and use it, but they don't know how it works. If you know how it works, then you can use it better than it's going to use you.
Yeah, because in fact now we also have a lot of student websites, like, I don't know, we do the IB program, which is very challenging, let's say, but we found a lot of websites which also include AI. And you can give them like any questions, any topic. It will give you some revision questions and things like that. Also, like it's a tool that also saves time.
It's very critical, you know, especially in education. Nobody demystified yet how we can use it, because it's a very dangerous, let's say, it can be a dangerous tool, because if if somehow it takes away the critical thinking of you, like being able to investigate and reward yourself, and that's the beauty of life, you know, finding a solution, getting excited about it, being passionate about you also do it. So you need to be careful, I think, in my opinion, and that's my opinion, how you use any kind of technology. It can be 3D printing, AI, quantum computing, machine learning, anything. But I think the core is to be able, before you use it, to understand, and it's a very difficult thing to do, how the whole system works. So if you're using it, you know how the system is using you. It's a very philosophical also question, but it was a success for all the projects we've done. A very big example is the 3D printers we provided for the schools. I remember, because I'm leading the project for another 12 schools, I contacted 20 companies to give us solutions. I went to their factories, I saw everything. They even brought me a printer. I had to test a printer, and it was breaking down. And I said, what am I going to do now? I mean, the professionals cannot do it. I need to find a solution. We're going to ship these printers to the schools. If it breaks, who's going to fix it? And if it's going to be fixed, how much it's going to cost? So I had to reverse engineer the whole thing that's called 3D printing down to the bearings. And I said, okay, let me break it 500 times. So when I break it, then nobody else would be able to do it, break it again. So we shipped the printers. It was just an amazing experience to all the 12 schools. They opened the box. In 10 minutes, they were able to set it up. In another 10 minutes, print. Nobody called me that something break. It's been 1.5 years now. And this is just to show you, like, you think 3D printing is easy. It's absolutely not. So if you think this way to decodify the problems and understand the technology in its core, you can do something that nobody else can do. And to be able to have the energy to do this, you need to be a little bit passionate. I want to solve something that nobody else tried to solve. So if you have this thing in your head and goes around, you're going to be free for the rest of your life, because you're going to be able to create, not to just follow other ideas. I don't know, it's just, I think, yeah.
So some of these experiences, like, mind-blowing. I can't even believe them. Some of them, it's like, it's something very new. Like,
I used to be the student in the school that had difficulties following curriculums. I was always a bit bored in the class, because it was always it was so patternized, especially in Cyprus. I mean, a long time ago, when I was a student, education was not that exciting. We didn't even have this technology around us. So when I grew up and I became a teacher, I said, okay, we cannot continue doing things like this. We need some motivation for students to get inspired. So yeah, this is how we started anyway.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys.
For your insights.
Thank you.
It's very inspiring for us.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Anastasiou, for sharing your insights and your incredible journey and your work that you're doing.
For education, for the future.
Thank you so much for helping us set up the Space Lab, because now it's a new tool for us.
It was time worth the thing, because I've been to the school and it's just amazing to see you guys with your podcast and other students with the training. Everybody's so excited here, and you don't find this a lot. I mean, normally people are more scared than excited. Here you are more excited than, and you want to learn, you want to use it. So thank you for actually getting to the point that you actually make everything look so perfect. The Space Center is just the Space Lab is just amazing. And you have an amazing staff here to support you,
it's true.
which is super important.
Yes.
Yeah, like the main value of our school is open-mindedness. So we're trying to be like open-minded and to learn.
It's true. We had this meeting today with the parents. Everybody was so open to talk about it and collaborate with new ideas. I think it's going to be one of the biggest success of all the space. I think you're going to even overpass the one we have in Larnaca. I'm almost sure about it. I mean,
me and Ellen only have like 1.5 years left in the school, but we'll see if we can do something. But there are other generations. We'll see for the kids in elementary school, what they can come up with the kids in middle school. We'll see how it will go.
It's gonna go just fine. The prerequisites are already there, and I'm sure. But thank you for this opportunity. It's also, an opportunity for me to talk to you guys. You have all the future in front of you. You're so young. You wanna do your careers. You wanna do your dreams. And just thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much to you.
Thank you.